Welcome to This Explainer. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're diving into a highly practical, structured process for getting unstuck. We're pulling this straight from Shannon White's embodied law of attraction journey. If you've ever felt like your manifestation efforts just keep hitting a massive brick wall, well, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to map out her exact step-by-step process, what it is, and exactly what she says to do to finally break free from all that stagnation. Let's get right to it.
So, let me ask you this. Are you stuck in an exhausting loop? Have you tried the exact same solutions over and over again, only to end up right back where you started, just completely drained? It's literally the most frustrating place to be, right? But what if the reason you're stuck isn't because you aren't trying hard enough, but rather how you're trying to force the change? Okay, let's really dive into this.
Here's our roadmap for today. 1. The stagnant survivor phase. 2. Step 1, which is clearing your space. 3. How to track effectively. 4. Signaling somatic safety. 5. The triple I energy. And 6. Finding your true desire. Starting with number 1, the stagnant survivor phase. Before we can change anything, we really have to look at where we are right now. Shannon White calls this the stagnant survivor phase. It's basically a phase characterized by sheer exhaustion just from maintaining your current state. You're constantly looping in your thoughts, you're desperately trying to minimize pain and instability, but you are making absolutely zero real progress. And you know what? It's actually a protection mechanism. In this phase, you are constantly managing the exact same exhausting details over and over again without ever really moving forward.
Let's do a quick diagnostic check here. Do you recognize yourself in any of these symptoms? Are you playing out repetitive dramas, maybe with other people or honestly just in your own head? What about mental looping about those same exact problems? Or maybe you just feel this bone-deep exhaustion from simply trying to hold it all together. Do you ever catch yourself having rescue fantasies where you just hope some external force will swoop in and magically fix the whole shebang? Or maybe you're dealing with catastrophic all-or-nothing thinking. Look, if this list resonates with you, you are absolutely not alone. But it does mean you can't just jump into taking massive action quite yet.
Which brings us to number 2. Step 1. Clearing your space.
This is the prescription, the exact thing Shannon says you must do before forcing any new actions. The ecstatic manifestation process begins with step 1, clearing your space. Only after you do that can you move to step 2, which is finding true desire. Now, today's explainer zeroes in heavily on exactly how to execute that crucial step 1. Because here's the thing, if you try to skip this, you are simply piling new actions on top of a foundation that is already cluttered and exhausted. And that brings us to this foundational truth. Shannon says the singular reason you haven't manifested what you want is because you don't have congruence around what you want. So what does she mean by that? Well, the point is that your internal space right now is probably filled with conflicting energies. We're talking guilt, bargaining, shame, maybe a desperate desire for a quick fix. Shannon uses this great analogy. Imagine trying to become a triathlete, right? But you're trying to build that totally new identity on a foundation of looping anxiety and all-or-nothing thinking. There is literally no way that's going to work. You have to clear the clutter first to actually achieve that congruence.
So moving to section 3, how to track effectively.
So what exactly is her process here? How do we clear that clutter? Let's get into the practical mechanics of what she says to do. This is where you literally grab a journal or just the Notes app on your phone and start paying attention in real time. But there's a vital difference in how you have to pay attention here. We are completely moving away from judgmental reacting. Condemning yourself, hating the clutter, desperately rushing to fix the behavior. We have to shift to neutral tracking. This is all about gentle curiosity. You are basically just acting as a neutral observer, jotting down your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors right as they happen, with zero pressure to change them. You just want to know what is literally taking up your space.
To do this, Shannon gives us some very specific prompts. And the most powerful one is simply this. When I blank, then blank. This little prompt is a game changer because it helps you map out your cause and effect loops while they are actively happening. You're not looking back a week later trying to remember, you are noticing the loop in the exact moment.
Let's really ground this. Shannon shared her own experience of tracking her physical habits. She literally kept a journal right where she works and eats. And she realized, when I eat late at night, then I wake up feeling guilty. Right? She started to notice this whole loop of feeling out of control, eating to get a quick serotonin hit at the end of a long day, and then waking up the next morning and immediately having to manage all this guilt. By neutrally writing this down, without beating herself up, she took the habit out of the unconscious shadows and put it right onto paper. She exposed the exact clutter that was filling her space.
And here are a few more essential tracking prompts you can use. I blame who or what you're blaming for your stagnation. Or, I have tried, if I fail, I'm afraid that, and I deeply resent. These prompts are seriously actionable tools. If you answer them honestly for just 4 or 5 days, I promise you're going to start mapping out the hidden friction and those contradictory energies that are totally blocking your path.
All right, number 4, signaling somatic safety.
Now, as you start writing these things down, you are going to feel uncomfortable. It's just a fact. You're going to notice this physical and emotional tightness in your body, and that takes us to the second half of clearing your space. See, when you track a painful loop, your energy tends to get stuck in this intense push-pull dynamic. A part of you really wants to move forward, but another part feels unsafe, so you unconsciously pull back into that old, familiar habit. Signaling safety is all about relieving that physical and mental tension right around those places of contraction. And this is absolutely crucial to understand. This is not about endorsing your bad habits. Not at all. It's simply about calming your nervous system down so that exhausting back-and-forth loop can finally pause and new possibilities can actually open up.
So what does she say to do here? Well, when you feel that contraction, that super tight, judgmental feeling welling up while you're tracking, she says to use gentle physical touch. Shannon herself uses a lymph brushing technique where she just softly strokes down her face and neck. Or alternatively, you can find what she calls a still point. When you feel a heavy emotion rise up, just let your entire body go completely still. Don't grab your phone, don't scroll to distract yourself, just let the tides of your body pause for a second. This physically decrystallizes those old patterns and completely resets your nervous system.
Moving on to Section 5, the Triple I Energy.
Once you have neutrally tracked those loops and successfully signaled safety to your nervous system, a really profound shift starts to happen. This is the beautiful, totally organic bridge that carries you right out of that stagnant survivor phase. As you clear out the internal clutter, you naturally start to enter the Triple I phase. That stands for inspiration, information, and inspired action. The best part? You don't have to force yourself to change anymore. Suddenly you just feel spontaneously inspired to try something new, or you'll randomly stumble upon the exact piece of information you needed, and that leads directly into natural, effortless action. It's this wonderful, easy interplay simply because all that internal resistance is finally gone.
And finally, Section 6, finding your true desire.
So, what happens when that initial wave of new energy kind of settles down? You might feel like your momentum has fizzled out for a second, but I promise you haven't lost anything. True desire is all about moving towards long-term satisfaction. Your minimum standards for your life have permanently gone up. You'll probably realize that what you thought you wanted back when you were stuck in survival mode, well, it isn't actually what you want now. By decrystallizing those old, exhausted patterns, you uncover a much more refined, authentic desire. And taking action towards it, it feels completely organic, not forced in the slightest.
Bringing this whole explainer full circle, let's lock in this core truth one more time. You can't manifest on top of a cluttered foundation. If you try to skip the gentle tracking, or if you try to skip signaling safety to your body, you are just going to build a bunch of shiny new goals right on top of old exhaustion. Her process absolutely demands that we clear the space first.
So, I want to leave you with this provocative question to think about today. What is currently taking up your space? What repetitive thoughts, unspoken resentments, or daily loops are completely filling up your foundation right now? Grab a notebook today, act as that neutral observer, and start finding out. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope you feel empowered to start breaking your own loops today. Catch you next time.